morning, everyone, and welcome to Storytime with Miss Taryn. Today we are going to be talking about loneliness or isolation, which means feeling alone or by yourself. And before we start reading our book, we're going to sing a couple of songs about that. So we always start with our hello song, and then we're going to sing a song about friendship. All right? So let's do our hello song. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Uh-oh. All right, let's try that one again. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Good job. I got it right that time too. Okay, so the next song that we're going to sing, you may already know. It's called The More We Get Together, and it's a song about being together with your friends and being happy and happier because you have your friends with you. So the first part goes, the more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. And then it goes into talking about my friends are your friends and your friends are my friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. All right, so that's pretty much the whole song. And I do have my cat, Pippin, joining me today because he never wants to be left out of any of my videos. All right, so let's sing. All right. The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. Because your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. All right, that was pretty easy. And it's a nice song that just tells you how you feel about your friends. You're happier when you're with them, right? So right now that we're in this coronavirus pandemic, you may not get to see your friends as much as you'd like. And you definitely don't get to go to school with them right now, which is crazy. You might be afraid of getting sick, or maybe you're worried about everything that's changing in your life. School, friends, family, everything like that. Or maybe you're just frustrated that you can't have all the normal things that you usually do in the summer and even in the fall, like baseball games or birthday parties or dance recitals. Or maybe, like Brimsby, who's the guy in this book that we're going to read about, you feel sad and lonely and you miss your friends. All these feelings are okay to have. So if you're feeling sad or lonely or confused during this time, talk to a grown-up that you trust about how you're feeling. All right, so let's read this book and then we'll talk some more about friendship. So this book is called Brimsby's Hats, and it's by Andrew Prahin, and the main character is this guy named Brimsby, and it's about his friendship with this other guy, okay? So they're friends, and then something happens, and then they're not friends anymore, and Brimsby's really sad. So we're going to look at that today and see if there's something we can learn from this book. All right, let's start on the right page. Once in the quiet countryside, a hat maker lived in a little cottage. His best friend visited him every day. You see his best friend out the window? He's waving, saying, "Hey, Brimsby, what's up?" All right, Brimsby would make the most wonderful hats, and his friend would make the most wonderful tea. Together, they would have the most wonderful conversations. And if you look close, you can see all the conversations they're having. They're talking about being on a pirate ship, talking about being kings, talking about a dragon and other sea creatures. So it sounds like they're planning adventures together. Do you and your friends ever plan adventures? Either imagination-wise or real adventures. Maybe you were going to go on a trip with your friends this summer. When the hats were finished, they sent them to customers all around the world. You can see all these different types of animals that are getting the hats that Brimsby makes. This was how it was for many years. Until one morning, the friend said that he would be leaving to travel far away. You see, it was his dream to become a sea captain. So that's why they planned so many sea adventures, right? You see his friend, he's talking a big tale about being on a boat and having his own. You can see there's a spyglass so he can look and see what's out on the ocean. So, let's see how that makes Brimsby feel. The next day, the hat maker gave his friend a brand new hat. It fit perfectly. See, it's a captain's hat. And if you look closely, it has a teapot on it, which is pretty cool. Then Brimsby wished his friend the best of luck and waved him goodbye. The hat maker worked for many quiet days after that and had many quiet cups of tea. They weren't nearly as wonderful as the tea that his friend used to make. It was quiet, very quiet, too quiet. One day, the hat maker realized he had become awfully lonely. And do you feel like that when you don't get to see your friends? I know I do. It's hard to go without seeing your friends when you're used to seeing them at school or maybe in sports, that kind of thing. Ooh, now it's winter. So he set out on a walk, looking to make some new friends. He wore his favorite hat. After traveling all day, the hat maker came upon a tree full of birds. He thought the birds would make very nice friends. He said, "Hello," but the birds didn't hear him. Look at them. They're in their little nests. They even have little stoves to keep warm. It's pretty fun. It's pretty different though for a bird. They were hard at work shoveling snow out of their nests and keeping the cold wind from blowing out their fires. The hat maker stood there all alone and watched the busy birds as the snow fell and the wind blew. Then, after it had grown dark, he returned home through the silent snow. How do you think he feels now? Probably not super happy. He tried to make friends, didn't work. He sat in his chair and looked out the window. After some time, he put his cup down. He gathered his tools and he took down some of his hats. What do you think he's going to do? Think he's making more hats just for fun? What? Then he went to work. He worked all night, measuring and marking, cutting and stitching. When he was finished, the birds had new homes. The hats kept the snow out of their nests and stopped the cold wind from blowing out their fires. The birds weren't busy anymore. That is very thoughtful of Brimsby. Look at all these birds. Now they're paying attention, aren't they? That was a very sweet thing for him to do. So they talked. They talked about hats. They talked about snow shovels. They talked about whether lemon cookies taste better than worms. I bet the birds think the worms taste better. And when it got late, the hat maker said goodbye to his new friends and walked home. How do you think he feels now? Probably pretty good. That night, the birds went to bed in warm little houses and they were very happy. They weren't the only ones. See, there's Brimsby. And he's going to bed happy too. From then on, the hat maker and the birds would see one another quite often. Sometimes the hat maker would visit the birds. And sometimes the birds would visit the hat maker. Look, now they all have little bitty hats too. So he must have made them more hats. But every once in a while, they would all take a very long journey. Where do you think they're going? They would travel to a seaside town that was full of ships to visit an old friend. Now my other cat wants attention. This is little girl. And a large group of friends would drink tea and talk about hats and shovels and ships and how wonderful it was that they had all been lucky enough to meet each other. So Brimsby's friend wasn't gone forever, was he? He just moved somewhere different and you couldn't see him all the time. But then they all get together every once in a while and get to spend some time together. All right, that's the end. Shows all of them all together. Pretty good book, huh? So Brimsby was happy right at the beginning. And then he was sad and lonely because his friend left. And then sad and lonely again because he was trying to make friends with the birds. But then, once he made friends with the birds, he felt better. And he even felt good enough to go visit his old friend who lived far away. So, it's sad right now when we can't be with the people that we love the most as much as we would like. Maybe that's your best friend, or your neighbors, or your teachers, your friends from school, or even family. But there are things that you can do to remember your loved ones, whether they're close by, you can't see them, or they're far away. So one of the things that one of my friends did for me during the COVID pandemic was she brought me a cherry limeade from Sonic, which is one of my favorite things to drink. So she just dropped by in her car, she got out, put it on my porch, said hello, and I waved at her, and then she went on her way. And I had my cherry limeade and the good feeling that I knew that a friend was thinking of me. So you could do something like that for a friend. You could FaceTime with a friend or family member. You could send them a card in the mail or an e-card online. If they live close enough, you can drive by their house and have a short visit, talk from the car or maybe from your porch, that kind of thing. You could send them a homemade art project to show them that you're thinking about them. You could pick a bouquet of flowers if they like flowers and surprise them with that. You could even start a book club. So there are lots of things that you can do, activities that I would encourage you to do with your family that you live with to show your friends and family that you can't be with right now, that you still care about them, that you love them, and that you'll see them soon because this is temporary. All right, so I would love to know if you guys have done any of those things. So if you do decide to do something for your friends or family that you can't see right now, feel free to drop a picture in the comments of this video or comment and tell me what you did. Whether it's, you did a drive-by visit with your grandma, you FaceTimed somebody, or maybe you just dropped off a cherry limeade at your friend's house. So we would love to hear about the cool things that you're doing for your friends and family. All right, so before we go, we're gonna close with our goodbye song, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. All right, see you later.